But first, for those of you who are wondering what my deck looks like, this is the iteration of it when I first played it. After the game, I made some changes. Obviously, I needed some way to deal with Curtain Wall, so I'm going to put in Emergency Shutdown and Sneak Door Beta for that. But before that, this is the deck. Basically, all the disposable breakers and some way to make them more efficient, because as they are, even with Geist ability, there is very little reason to use these breakers. They are very click intensive. That's the biggest problem. It costs 1 click and a credit to play one of these breakers. At that point, you might as well be clicking through Bioroid Ice, right? And sometimes it's just too slow to contest remotes. So, what I'm doing is combining it with Savoir-Faire, which allows you to clicklessly install these icebreakers. And the best thing is Savoir-Faire actually allows you to trigger once per turn, which means you can actually install 2 breakers each turn. Of course, this is a very expensive operation that costs 2 credits each time, but this is why you're playing it in Geist, because you have a lot of money. Between your Link and Underworld contacts, you're gaining a lot of money, and with Technical Writer from D&D, this is just going to be that much better. And oh, by the way, it's also trashable. How good is that? You are installing so many icebreakers and all the clone chips and the forgers that Technical Writer will chalk up to an insane amount of money. This is not a tag floating deck, although it can tag float if it wants to, I guess. You want the Underworld contacts to stick, and your only global stack is a resource, and you don't want that to get trashed. I would like to use Forger to clear siphon tags if possible. So having a continuous source of link to keep my memory going is nice. Yes, in case you haven't noticed, this deck runs a hell lot of money and is absolutely essential, otherwise you cannot fire all Savoir-Faire. At that point, there's no point running it. Savoir-Faire is perfect in Geist because unlike the other criminals IDs, just don't have the memory for it. Criminals are still woefully short on memory because their main console Desperado only gives 1 memory, and if they're using a standard breaker suite, no files, no eater, or rather they are not completely AI reliant, there just won't be enough memory between that. Most decks already don't have Sneak Door Beta because it costs 2 memory. Savoir-Faire just adds to that. So even though everything this deck is lightweight, it still takes a while to set up. There's no sure gamble, and early on your draw really sucks. If you don't find a Street Peddler or a Fisk early on, you're in a tough place because you'll be clicking for cards every single time, every single turn, every single click for that matter. That is why I play Fitz Investment Seminar. It's a suboptimal card. Many pros have pointed out that on the corp side, you'll be very happy when the runner plays this, as is the case with Medical Research Fundraiser. I'm only playing it here because it's a necessary evil. I would rather have 3 Street Peddlers, but the influence just doesn't cut it. You need 2 R&D interfaces because this deck doesn't want to run a lot. Another reason why I don't run Desperado, it costs a lot to install and you're not running a lot. Yes. I think I'm spending too much time explaining this deck. Let's get into the game.